Greetings, dear neurons at risk of extinction. I am Dr. Percival Q. Neutron, theoretical physicist, clinical logician, and occasional detector of nonsense disguised as ancient wisdom. Today I'm here to teach you something essential to intellectually survive in this zoo called the internet: how to spot pseudoscience in 5 steps. Or just 1 step, if your synapses still work without incense interference. And if you feel like I'm talking to you, it's because I am. I'm talking to you. But if you've made it this far without going off to watch horoscopes on TikTok, congratulations, there's hope.
Subscribe if you don't want to keep believing that energy means the same thing in physics as it does in yoga.
Thanks, Euler. As concise as always, probably so as not to exhaust the general public's cognitive capacity. Now, let's start with step 1, before someone in the comments asks if magnets can align their chakras. Step 1. Pseudoscience avoids the scientific method. The scientific method, for those who were asleep in high school, is simple. 1. Observe. 2. Formulate hypotheses. 3. Experiment. 4. Analyze data. 5. Replicate results. You know what pseudoscience does? 1. Invents. 2. Posts it on Facebook. 3. Monetizes it with coaching. Classic example, homeopathy. According to this practice, the more you dilute a substance, the stronger it becomes. By this logic, if I drop some poison into the Pacific Ocean, I have a magic soup that kills dragons. And yes, this theory has been debunked by hundreds of peer-reviewed studies. And you know what homeopaths say? Science can't measure it. Of course. Because it also can't measure your level of self-deception without breaking the instrument.
Homeopathy, where less is more, except in logic there it's always 0.
Step 2. Pseudoscience uses complicated language, to say nothing. Phrases like harmonize your quantum frequencies sound impressive, until you remember they mean nothing. Words you should be suspicious of if not accompanied by an equation nearby. Quantum. Vibrational. Subtle energy. Intuitive cellular reprogramming. Ionic detox. And the best one, scientifically proven, without citing any source. It's like saying legally approved, while running from the cops. In contrast, real science uses things like statistical significance levels, margins of error, and peer review. And yes, it may sound boring, but at least it's not based on what your cousin dreamed the night she ate too much cheese.
Fact: cheese dreams have more empirical support than any vibrational therapy.
Step 3. Pseudoscience can't be refuted because it's shielded with excuses. Falsifiability is a pillar of science. If a theory can't be disproved, it's not science. Karl Popper, yes, that philosopher who understood more than your spiritual coach, made it clear: a scientific claim must be testable. Pseudoscience protects itself like this. It didn't work because you didn't have faith. You didn't do it right. You weren't vibrating at the right frequency. Mercury was in retrograde. I have a hypothesis too: if you need an excuse every time your theory fails, it's because your theory always fails.
In science, that's called confirmation bias. In pseudoscience, it's called business model.
Step 4. They reject established science results without evidence. The scientists are bought. The pharma companies want you sick. What really cures you is hidden from you. Ah yes. All the scientists on the planet, the same ones who can't even decide if coffee is good or bad this week. Conspiring in silence.
A global conspiracy more stable than your Wi-Fi connection.
Science changes its mind because it's based on evidence, not dogma. Example: it was once thought the stomach was sterile. Then Marshall and Warren discovered ulcers are caused by bacteria, Helicobacter pylori. What did science do? It accepted it. And what did the charlatans do? Nothing. Because they kept selling sugar water. Step 5. They appeal to emotions, not evidence. Pseudoscience knows humans are more emotional than rational. So it focuses on fear, hope, and desperation. Example: natural medicine has been used for thousands of years. Great. So have leeches. Should we go back to that? And my favorite: Science doesn't understand everything. Correct. But that doesn't mean any nonsense is true. We don't yet understand what's inside a black hole, but that doesn't validate that a quartz crystal under your armpit aligns your chakras.
Spoiler: if something sounds too good to be true, and it's not backed by clinical trials, it probably only serves to lighten your wallet.
Real data examples that destroy pseudoscience. Healing crystals. There's no double-blind controlled study showing effects beyond placebo. But there are studies showing placebo effects can temporarily relieve symptoms. Conclusion? The crystal doesn't heal. Your brain does the work. Juice detoxes. Your liver and kidneys already detox your body. You don't need $40 a liter celery juice. You need water and maybe less tequila. Past life regression therapy. There's no evidence past lives exist. But there is plenty of evidence how suggestion can alter memory. The brain is a compulsive storyteller. You don't need another life. Just therapy in this one.
Evidence-based therapy, not incense-based.
So review with me. 1. Use the scientific method. 2. Be suspicious of vague language. 3. See if it can be refuted. 4. Don't reject science without evidence. 5. Watch out for emotional appeals. Hard? For some, yes. But you're not some. You're here, listening to an impatient avatar, but one armed with data. Remember this. Pseudoscience consoles. Science confronts. One sells you promises. The other demands critical thinking. And in a world saturated with opinions, critical thinking is intellectual resistance. Thanks for your attention, even though I know your focus competes with videos of cats doing parkour. Subscribe if you like logic, or if you want to avoid falling for that crystal seller who says his cat talks to your grandma.
Not your grandma, that's just the blender running.
See you in the next episode. If you still think the Earth is flat, make sure you don't fall off the edge first.